The first thing I want to ask you is, should younger people today even aspire to own a home, or is the American dream, that version of it, dead?
It's situational. First off, keep in mind the term the American dream was invented by the National Realtors Association and the Real Estate Association that wants to keep pumping up the price and the commissions on homes. If you live in a place like Los Angeles, where I believe, quote unquote, the yield, that is the ratio, the cost to rent something relative to the price to buy it, it actually makes more financial sense for most people to rent here. It makes sense for most people in New York to rent. You're in St. Louis, you're in Lansing, Michigan, it probably makes sense to try and save some money and buy and take advantage of first-time home buyers credits, what have you. So you want to find someone who, quite frankly, if you're not good at math, is better at math than you, and say, does it make sense for me to buy a home? Because you might be better off. The co-host of my podcast, Raging Moderates, is a very successful woman. Her name's Jessica Tarloff. She's the Democrat on the most popular cable news channel show called The Five, right? It's 4 Republicans and Jess. And she makes really good money. Her husband makes really good money. And they've decided not to buy in New York because they think putting the money in the market will give them more financial security. So greatness and great decisions are in the agency of others. I would talk to people, but don't feel as if you're a failure if you don't own real estate, because real estate right now, as a percentage of GDP, as a multiple on rents, is at historic highs, meaning that you really don't want to be house poor. You really don't want to go all in because the National Realtors Association is telling you you're a failure if you don't own a home, because the last thing you want to do is just have no money for nothing else. The market corrects, and your house isn't worth the debt on it. That is devastating emotionally and financially and from a credit standpoint. So it's situational. At the same time, there's no getting around there is some psychic income. I remember, before I got married, and I was thinking about, I wanted to commit to somebody. You buy a house, you get a dog. It's sort of these emotional commitments. And also there is a certain pride of ownership. I think it's situational. Where you are in life, how much money you have, the city you're in. But buying a home is meant to be an enhancement to your life. It's not a suicide pact, and it may not be right for everybody.